Hello everyone, so we went from talking about the amazing seasonal state of Connecticut all the way up north to back to the south. Yeah, Delaware is in the south. It's one of the smallest one, just like Connecticut, but it's in the south for some reason because US geography logic just has to make Delaware in the south, but Missouri in the north. I don't get any of the US logic. Well, Delaware is definitely one of the best technology, way better than the software and hardware and often wears a New Jersey around the way. God, these puns are... Anyway, Delaware is really cool because it's notable for shopping fees. I don't know why I found that cool, but I just like shopping. I don't know. But Delaware is known for the malls, so welcome to the state of malls and a bunch of macroeconomic micromanagement. Of course, let's start with geography. So Delaware borders among three states, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey, as well as the Atlantic Ocean. It's located by the Southern Atlantic Southern regions. Capital is Dover, and the largest city is Wilmington, not Wellington like in New Zealand, Wilmington. Delaware has a total area of just about 1,982 square miles and a total area with 30 times 96 miles. It's also the fifth least populated, currently just about 1 million people, and it also has 21.7% water. It's also the second smallest right before Rhode Island, just after Connecticut. Its total density is 469 per square mile. Quick facts about Delaware. The national bird is the Delaware blue hen. The national animal is the gray fox. The national fish is the weakfish. That's interesting. The natural flower is the peach blossom. The natural insect is the sun-spotted ladybug. The national tree is the American holly. The national beverage is milk. The national food is strawberry and peach pie. There's something similar with Georgia. There's the national fossil is the belemnite, I guess. I don't even know how to pronounce these. The national mineral is the sillimanite. The national soil is the greenwich. I don't even know how to pronounce. Nicknames include the first state because it's the first state to be found, they claim it to be. And also it's the small wonder because it's small and people wonder why it's a state, I guess. It's the blue hen state because it's national bird, the blue hen. It's the diamond state because flag crap. And the motto is the liberty and independence. That's literally just copying across American. And the state song is Our Delaware. What? So Delaware is split into three counties, but one of the biggest county, the most populated, is the Sussex. Oh, is that even appropriate? But Sussex County is the most populated, however. It's 69. Oh, great. Okay. 69% Christianity, and the main language is English and Spanish as spoken. It has more female than male. I don't even know why that's relevant, but whatever. The median age is 39.8. 38.2 for male and 41.4 for female. It's mostly a democratic state, and finally, the average temperature of Delaware ranges from around 47.3 degrees Fahrenheit to 66.2 degrees Fahrenheit, and the average temperature is about 56.75 degrees Fahrenheit, and it receives about 46.1 inch annually. Now it's time for history, and let Uncle Me just talk about the amazing history of Delaware. God, this is great. So basically, during the 10,000 BCE, one of the Delaware's earliest residents arrived. They were basically nomadic hunter and gatherer, known as the Paleo-Indian, or Paleo-Indian, I don't know. They didn't tend to basically gather much of plants and animals for survival and hunger and hungriness. I don't even know what I'm talking about. And they also basically just banged stone together for writing communication purposes. Soon at the time of 6,500 BCE, Delaware native people entered and climate began to change. This is also known as the Archaic time. Warmer and more inhabitable places like the woodland culture began to basically emerge in 3000 BC across temperature. It became wonderful, the woodland area is just amazing, and the early period, most people basically just live in domes, houses by the river for food and gathering. Soon they later started to do stuff like pottery, arts, and carving crap out of crap. And more settlers soon decided to go through the villages, including the Lenape people that arrived in the 1400s by the Delaware River Valley. The Lenapers are basically eloquent speakers arranged across the North Atlantic coast, the Great Lakes, and parts of the Midwest, but mostly in Canadian region. They were often peaceful and lived in clans of family. These clans are also known as the Unami, which means downriver, and also the Unachitigo, which means people who lives near the ocean. Women stay home to do chores, while men they just hunt stuff. They also carry many family from farmings and animals and grow crops and stuff like that. The Nanticoke tribe is also another North American group dealing in Maryland and southern Delaware from Delaware to the Chesapeake Bay. These persons are similar to the Iroquois since they originate from Lanier, same with the Nanachoke that came after. Then soon Europeans started to first arrive in Delaware in the early 1600s where farmers started to become rich and grow farmlands and abundant sources. Delaware decided to prize on the European fought between the Swedish, Dutch, and English. Henry Hudson was the first official European. He is English, however, in the 1600s, the Dutch took part in the East India as now a part of the Dutch trading zone for trade. Meanwhile, Hudson looked around the Delaware Bay, hoping to find a new continent, but they failed. So basically, soon, Samuel Agall took south of Delaware Bay to basically colonize Georgia. The Dutch settler then soon came and became the first European to officially sail to Delaware. Now, they established a settlement known as Zwaaldale, meaning Swan Valley. They declared some trading zone, often get into conflict. It did collapse. In 1638, Sweden then soon came to Delaware and established New Sweden, or Fort Christiana. Wilmington became the first permanent European settler state. The Dutch colonies then soon decided they also want to get Delaware back, so they did and called it New Netherlands. The Duke of York soon started to become the New York colony, and then soon the Dutch recolonized it, but the British colonized it again. Then again, a bunch of stuff happened in Pennsylvania, then wanted the land too, so it basically took the land across the three counties of Newcastle, Kansas, Sussex, and many of the religion, congressional disputation, and government disputations spread across. Then the Delaware agreed on ceding 3 counties on Penn, but keep on Delaware tend to basically focus on farming. The European settlers have basically crowded them across the land. Europeans made many treaties after another, but most of the agreement of land broke. The Lenape were soon being put across the Middle East, and then the Nanaco also spread across multiple other countries. Eventually, the 13th colony grew upon the Atlantic Ocean, and England by this time of the turn started to basically colonize America. But then the Revolutionary War happened and the independence colonists, and now Declaration of Independence for that year, Delaware became independent from Pennsylvania. The 3 lower counties now became known as Delaware. They soon drew out the first state constitution. Economies then started to grow, and the industry increased. In 1789, representative meet in the Constitutional Convention and compromise agreed state, regardless of the size, will have equal power through the compromise. And soon, in December 7, 1787, Delaware became the first official U.S. state. Soon, in 1804, North basically passed a law against slavery. Delaware, however, allowed slavery, but some doesn't. In 1847, Delaware decided to vote on a bill to abolish slavery. It was defeated by one of many Delawareans who tried to free slaves, known as the colonists. Quaker Dickens, no, whatever, it's demonetized anyway. Let's just continue. Tried to free the slave in 1777 to abolish which frees settlers. Are you ready, kids? Now let's just talk about war. Great, everyone loves war, right? Or whatever. But however, before we talk about war, let's just talk about the LSU tyranny DuPont Dynamore, which impacted Delaware by increasing the gunpowder and chemical business and road transportation to access places easier. Now let's just get to the good part, the Civil War, which everyone loves the Civil War, right? It's very civilized, I guess. The Free State and soon subtly, I don't even know how to pronounce it, decreased. Now let's just talk about the Underground Railroad, you know, the place where like people went to escape slavery secretly for freedom. The North also used it as a fugitive. People like John Hung and Kent Quaker basically keep on Tubman, which basically helped many Southern people escape. And since more African American escaped, then make more baby and reproduce, and now more African American populations and soon grew, and then we got segregation, great, and racism, and much more requirement issue for voting. Delaware's industry then just increased more and more, as well as factories. Amazing. Delaware soon became an extremely important part of World War I because of the DuPont, whatever factory I just discussed earlier. And gunpowder became also important, and we soon get to the Depression. Great, everyone's sad. Then the New Deal. Yeah, whatever. Franklin D. Roosevelt solved everything. And then soon World War II solved against our military force and military and shipping, whatever, ship crash, we get it. After the events of World War II, we basically just got every normal US event that have happened, like civil rights and like more racial segregation and lawsuits separate against schools, and of course Board versus Board of Education and KKK, Martin Luther King, Legend of Night, and slavery and public neighbor integration, and we're finally done. So there have it. Delaware has some amazing history. Like, I didn't set it to any other state, but like Delaware is pretty interesting for what it's worth. I suggest you should visit it, even though like there's nothing interesting. But I will be interested to visit there someday, I guess. But thank you for watching. Florida is coming up next.
Oh, the hills of dear Newcastle and the smiling vales between, when the corn is all in tassel and the meadowlands are green, where the cattle crop the clover and its breath is in the air, while the sun is shining over our beloved